What I asked you guys to do here is I asked you to highlight the base of each triangle in blue and the height of each triangle in red. And we're going to take a look and see what that actually looks like for different types of triangles. So let's start with this bottom right triangle. The base of my triangle is this, 14 millimeters. And the height of my triangle goes from the vertex across from the base straight down at a right angle to the base itself. So there's my base and my height. So that's important what I just said. The height goes from the vertex across from the base straight down at a right angle to the side of the base. All right, so my base is always going to be one of the sides of my triangle. So for this top right one, my base is just the 6 meter length. It doesn't go all the way to that perpendicular marking. It's just that 6 meter length. And then my height is going to be the distance from the vertex across from that base. So that's this vertex right here. And then straight down perpendicular to that base. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. This one, my base is this 5.9 inch length. Notice on this one, the base is not the bottom side. Your base doesn't have to be your bottom side. It could be any one of the sides, as long as you pick that side, and then for your height, you use the vertex across from that side and the distance at a perpendicular line to that base. So sometimes our sometimes our height is inside the triangle, and sometimes it is outside of the triangle like this one. The most important thing is that your base and your height have to be perpendicular to each other. And the height has to come from the vertex across from the base. The area of a triangle is always going to be the base times the height divided by 2. So the thing that you need to keep track of is which side you are using as the base. You can use any side of the triangle as the base, but then whichever side you pick the base, you have to make sure you are using the correct height for that side. So I have 2 different triangles here. In this top one, I've got my base is this bottom side of my triangle, and then the height goes from the vertex across from that base down at a 90-degree angle to the base itself. In this one, I have a right triangle, and these 2 sides are called the legs of the right triangle. And so in this case, the base and the height are the 2 legs of my right triangle. Okay, so here are some things I want you to add to your right side notes here. The base is always one side of the triangle. You can use any one of the sides as the base. But then depending on which side you choose, that would change up what height you need to use. So let's talk about the height. The height will always be perpendicular to the base. And remember, perpendicular just means that it hits at a 90-degree angle. And it's coming from the vertex across from the base. So the important thing is we need it to be perpendicular. The height and the base have to be perpendicular to each other, and the height has to come from the vertex that's across from the base. And the base will always be one of the sides of your triangle.